Saturday. I've got a little bit of sunshine, a little bit of rain. Okay, easy cross leg, get your outer ankle bones off the ground. Pull your front hip bones in. Bring your hands down to your lower belly. And close your eyes or keep them open, whatever you like. When you inhale, can you bring your breath down into this lower part of your body to open it up, to expand it? When you exhale and you lift it back up, the exhalation comes back up. Does it help you sit taller? The new inhalation comes down all around this sacrum, groin space. So a few breaths. So your inhalation comes down into your lower body. The exhalation comes back up, lifting you up. There's a lifting energy through the exhale. Relax your jaw and your tongue. And roll your shoulders. So we're going to do cat-cow here, a variation of cat-cow. Use your feet. Point your toes forward. Bring your hands to your knees. When you inhale, you're going to come forward. Inhale. Back up. When you exhale, do your cat-cow. Take the spine backward. Stretch it up. Inhale, you come forward and you lift it up. Exhale, you take your spine backward. And when at the end of your inhalation, can you get the breath down into your lower body? The exhalation comes back up, maybe through your spine. Keep it real simple. Go at your own pace. All right, then come next. We're going to bring I'll be your mirror image. So we'll bring the right hand out. The left hand comes up. Now sometimes I've said we're going to open up this left side. So when you start coming out to your left side, you're bending your spine, you're making a crescent shape to your spine. You can move your right hand. If you stretch out far enough, you can come down onto your forearm, but don't exaggerate it. Opening up the top side. Tuck your chin in. Can your breath still the inhalation come down into your lower belly? The exhalation come back up. When you inhale, you come back up. We'll bring the left hand down, the right hand up. So as you come out to your right side, or your left side. All right, so you could move your hand. If you came far enough, and it's not how far you go, but if you were able to, you drop your forearm to the ground. That may or may not happen for you. Can your inhalation come down into your lower belly? Your exhalation come back up, maybe through your neck, your throat. Inhale, you come back up. Put your other leg in front. Toes forward. Okay, so this time when you inhale, we're going to bring the arms out and around and up. Keep breathing. Now when you're ready and the exhalation comes, you're going to bring your right hand to your left leg. Your left hand comes around behind you. Try to keep your hips square. So you can put the inhalation down in here. So as you keeping the hips square, you don't want too much rotation in the lower spine. When you exhale, there's your opportunity to twist it around. Using your feet. Can you get the inhalation to come down, the exhalation to come back up? Inhale, come back around. All right, so when you're ready, it's an exhalation, you'll bring the opposite side. Without, again, that was if your knee went forward, your hip went forward, could you square off your hips a bit? And as you lift, the inhalation comes down, fill it up, open the space up. The exhalation comes back up. The exhalation is your chance to rotate. So wait for it, make it easy. All right, then come back. All right, we're going to come on to hands and knees. We're going to do cat-cow. Line up your hands, line up your knees. We did this before. When you inhale, open your front. When you exhale, open your back. Now, we get it seated in easy cross leg. So your muscles know. When you finish an exhalation, child's pose. You want to shift your weight around? Maybe. All right. coming up onto your hands, knees again. We're going to take the right leg back. Now, when you inhale, can you open your front? When you exhale, your back. A couple times. And bring your right leg down. All right, we'll do the other side. So as you take your left leg back, you're not lifting your hip, you're lifting your leg. All right, so when you inhale, open the front. When you exhale, open the back. A couple times. Hold your shoulder blades back. Feel where your breath is going. And again, when you exhale, child's pose. Shifting around if you want to shift around. All right, we're going to come into downward facing dog. Tucking your chin. Getting an internal with your thighs. If you were to draw circles around your feet, it'll come backward through your big toes. Here's the sunshine again. Yes. All right. We're going to walk the feet forward, hugging your legs. Tuck your chin in. For your shoulders to hang toward the floor. You don't want to be stuck back there. All right, now when you stand yourself up. We're going to have your knees about 2 fists apart. Knees 2 fists apart, feet about 2 fists apart. All right, so when you bring your arms up and you start sitting in an imaginary chair, take your sits bones backward. Lift your armpits upward. Can you get your breath into your belly? All right, when you're ready and you inhale, you're going to step the right foot back, bend both knees. This back heel is off the ground. And then when you straighten it up, both legs, bend them both again. Arch of your foot. Inhale, straighten them up again. One more. Lift your back heel, bend both knees, and then come back up. We'll step that left foot forward. Right foot forward. Or take, all right. So here you are. Going to bend the knees. Take your sits bones backward. And then when you're ready, you're going to take the left leg back. Keep your knees bent. You'd like your front knee to track over your foot, in line with your foot. Then when you straighten your legs, can you put your breath in here? Again, you're going to bend the legs, both legs. Get the back foot to work. When you inhale, coming back up. And when you come, one more. All right, and then bring your left foot forward. You're going to hang down over your legs, maybe. All right, then inhale, coming back up. All right. We're going to do triangle pose now. Check my mind. I'm going to have you bring your feet in. So your feet are quite close together, and turn your toes out. So I don't show you. Now, when you bend your knees and keep your knees tracking your feet, when we come into triangle pose, this is about the angle on the. We're going to do this leg first. So this is about the angle that you want your hips to be, right? So when you step your feet wide, but that same angle here at the hip, because if you try to crank this hip backward, and this comes in, but we've done that already. All right, so as you stretch your arms out, so this hip comes around. Now pull your legs in, drop your shoulder blades down. Can your inhalations come down here, filling this up, releasing any tension that you might have? The exhalation comes back up. See what happens. When you come into your triangle pose, feel what happens through here. Tuck your chin, turn your face. Use this right hand. Don't forget to breathe. Pull your legs in, get your inner thighs to work. If your hips have gone backward and your shoulders come forward, could you fix that? Don't go so far. It's best to have this alignment than to get your fingers to the floor. Keep your strength. When you inhale, come back up. We're going to come around the other side. Wide toes. So again, when you were standing like this and you bent your knees, and this angle right here, that's about the angle. That's how your hip is out. That's the way your hip works today. Yeah? All right. I've got sunshine. All right. So pull your legs in, front hip bones, your lower ribs. Keep all of that strength and come to your other side. Use this arm. Again, this back hip is an internal because this front hip, what angle you had with that toes turned out thing, that's where your hip opens up to. Yeah? That's what you got. Your triangle is this leg, this arm, and this side of your body. And you know you come back, turning your feet now. All right. Have you interlace your fingers behind your back with your feet quite wide. See about bringing your hands away from your hips without letting your shoulders come forward, without collapsing your chest. And then see about coming forward. Now, you ever have to bend your knees? You bring your front hip bones in. At the end, you tuck your chin in. You want your shoulder blades to stay in your back. You'd like your hips to be in line with your heels. You don't want to take your hips too far backward. All right, now, to come up, if you need, to use your hands on your thighs. When you inhale, use your abdominals, roll from your navel, pubic bone, navel, breastbone, coming back up. All right. We're going to do warrior one to the right. Now, we already did something with the legs here. You want your hips to come around here. Can your inhalation come down here? Your exhalation come back up. Without necessarily puffing your belly out, but all right. So when you bend your front knee, and you want your knee to stay in line with your, can you track your knee in line with your second toe? And feel what happens in this back leg, your lower ribs. Have you interlace your fingers behind your back again. And when you inhale, and you bring your arms out and around and up, long breath in. When you exhale, push toward the ground. When you inhale, lift up. When you exhale, push. Widen your fingers. Fingers are forward. Yeah. When you inhale this time, we'll stay. You're breathing. Or then inhale, come back up. We'll come around the other side. So, you'd like this hip to come around. If you drew a line between your big toe and your back heel, inner heel, you'd like your pubic bone navel to come into that line. So when you bend your knee, again, you want your knee to track in line with your second toe. And interlace your fingers behind your back, drop your shoulders down, bring your hands away from your hips without this happening. But then when you inhale, you bring your arms out and around and up. When you exhale, push down. Draw your shoulder blades down, lengthen the back of your neck. When you inhale, they come up again. When you exhale, push down. Hands and feet. When you inhale, you'd come back up. Hold the pose. Can your breath come into your belly? The inhalation. All right, then inhale, come back up. As you get your feet back, bend your knees and hang down over your legs. Move around if you want to move around. If you'd rather not, then don't. How's your breath? Can you put it into your belly while you're in this position? Can you just open up your lower back, maybe? Or then inhale, coming back up. All right. We're going to do warrior two. I'm your mirror image to the right. Now, like in triangle pose, you're not trying to keep your hips square to the front. It won't work. That's in this hip. When you did this and you found this angle right here, that's the same angle you're going to get here because that's the opening of your hip. That's what your hip does. As you stretch your arms out, shoulders are down. This comes in. This is an inward. When you bend your knee again, you'd like your knee to track over your second toe in line with your foot, not past. Shoulder blades are down. Relax your jaw and your tongue, and turn to look at your fingers. Can you get these triceps to work? You want the strength of the muscles to be under the bone. You breathing? Can you get your inhalation into your belly? The angle here is where you're going to work the hips. When you inhale, you come back up. We'll come around the other side. Front heel in line with the middle of the back foot, widen your toes. All right, so again, this angle that you found when you took your knees wide with your toes out, that's what you got. So this comes around. Not like warrior one, but all right. So when you bend energy, you bring energy into your left foot to pull the knee above the ankle. Yeah. You're not trying to keep your hips square to the front. You can move your ribs, but this is your foundation. Look at your front hand, gaze at the end of your longest finger. And don't forget to breathe. It's happening in the underside of this bent leg, happening in the outside edges of your feet. When you inhale, come back up, turning your feet around. You can jump, heel towel and back in. Works for you. All right, we're going to do a tree pose. We're going to start a little bit differently. So whichever foot, you're going to need to go to the wall, go to the wall. We're going to lift the knee up and bring your hands around your knee. Flex your ankle. Find your balance. Drop your shoulder blades down. All right, then see about bringing your foot out. You could hold on to the back of your leg if you wanted. You got this leg turning in. You got an internal here. Now when you bring your foot to your thigh, you may have to put it to your foot. You may have to put your toes on the ground. Bring your hands in prayer. But have you bring your arms out and just turn your palms up, turn your thumbs backward, widen your collarbones, and our front hip bones coming in. Can your inhalation come here? Your exhalation come back up. Turn your thumbs backward, turn your little fingers forward. And when you inhale, you bring your arms up. When you exhale, you bring them back down to heart center. All right, second side. Holding on to your knee, flex your ankle. And then start taking your foot out, holding on to the back of your leg if you want, or not if you want. And when you bring your foot into tree, you point your toes toward the floor. Bring your hands into prayer. Drop your wrists down toward the line of your elbows. All right, then when you take your arms out, turn your thumbs backward. Little fingers forward. Again, what you found when you had your knees bent before and that toes out, this is the angle that you got. When you inhale, you bring your arms way up. When you exhale, bring them back down to heart center. We'll do side stretch to the right. Back bend, forward bend. So when you bring your hands behind you, you could interlace your fingers back here, pull the base of your breastbone in. You could work on prayer pose behind your back. And if you're working on that, you'd like the thumbs to come toward one another, or you can fold your arms. You want your lower back ribs to come backward. You want the tops of your hips to come backwards, so you get all this strength in your front. Lift your kneecaps. So that when you inhale and you come up, you're not pushing this forward, you're pulling this backward, so you can lift this up to create more space, so you're not just crunching the vertebrae, all those spinous processes. You're opening the front. The front of the spine is smooth, round bones. You don't want to crunch those. When you come forward over your front leg, whatever you need to do. You need your hands on the ground, you need to bend your knee. Let your left hip come around. Bring the top of your right thigh in line with your foot. Breathe, tuck your chin. So you release the base of your neck. Hold your shoulders in your back. All right, when you're ready, push. When you inhale, you lift yourself back up. And we'll come around the other side. Both feet turn to the front. Both hips come around to the front. Whatever you're going to do with your hands. Now again, pull the base of your breastbone backward, your lower ribs backward, bring your front hip bones in, so that when you lift yourself up, the strength coming from the front side of the spine, you're not going to let your ribs curve into your kidneys, you're not going to let the base of the skull fall onto the top of the spine. You've got all of this stretched out. It's a back bend, not a back collapse. You need your hands, use your hands. Lift your kneecaps, put your thighs to work. When you then come forward over your front leg, you're going to keep your hands behind, tuck your chin. You need to bend your knee, your toes wide, on the top of your thigh in line with your foot. Can you bring that back hip bone in a bit? Tuck your chin. You ready? Inhale, use your legs. Inhale, lift yourself back up. All right, we'll come around. All right, we're going to sit. Easy cross leg again. So, let's do that again. When you inhale, come way forward, lift yourself up. When you exhale, go way backward. When you inhale, go at your own pace, lift it up, back bend. When you exhale, opening the spine. All right. I'm going to have you bring your hands behind you with your fingers pointing toward your hips. Again, we're going to come into a back bend. So hug your elbows in, hug your shoulder blades in, point your toes forward. When you lift up and lift up and lift up, the back of the body, the front of the body comes backward toward the front of the spine, those muscles, and you open your chest and you widen your collarbones, hug your arms in underneath you. If any of you want to lift your hips off the ground, it's up to you. Can you get your breath, your inhalation in your lower belly, the exhalation coming back up? All right, and when you exhale, you come back down. All right, circle your wrists. All right, we're going to come onto our tummy. We're going to do cobra. Your elbows stay in. Long fingers forward, thumbs inward. Point your toes backward. Get your front hip bones to come in. Tuck your chin in. I say this, the base of your neck at the back. That's what you lift up first. Everything else will follow. Then you can turn, but don't just crank your head back. Get your front hip bones still coming. Get inward rotation with your thighs. Look backward through your thumbs, your toes wall wide. When you exhale, come back down. Rest. Put your hands under your forehead. Hands under your forehead. How's your breath? Can you get your inhalation into your lower belly? Exhalation comes back up like we did at the beginning, maybe. All right. We'll do locust pose. Your arms are back by your sides, palms facing up, shoulders back, base of the breastbone back, base of the throat back. When you inhale, you lift the base of your neck. That's going to hold your head. Your hands, your feet. Relax your jaw and your tongue. You want to interlace your fingers back there? Is that lift your little fingers any higher? Are your little toes wide? When you exhale, you'd come back down. Come into child's pose. Move yourself around. All right. We're going to do downward facing dog. And make it upward facing dog. Hands lined up, come back with your thumbs, forward with your little fingers, back with your big toes, forward with your little toes. It's an internal. You open up your armpits, let the tops of your arms, your armpits sink toward the floor. Tuck your chin in. All right, so when you're ready, you can do chaturanga or not. When you're ready, you're going to bring the shoulders over the hands. Maybe you come into here. Maybe you have to put your knees down, maybe they stay down. Maybe they don't. Come backward through your thumbs, backward through the tops of your arms, widen your collarbones, pull your breastbone backward. And exhale, can you roll over your toes, coming back into down dog? The inside tip of your knees is backward. Can your breath in, can the inhalation come down into your belly? The exhalation come releasing the back of your neck, maybe. All right, and then come back down. Rest. With your breath. I'll let you do your own inversion your legs up the wall. You're going to come into seated forward pose. Do some circles with your feet. Change direction. Stretch your toes. Can you move your toes separately? As you bring one foot in, and just use your fist to tap along your foot. Give it a good tap. Across the front maybe. And the sole of the foot again. And then change feet. Good tap. Put down the sole of your foot, the instep of your foot across your toes. Across the top a bit, coming back through. Maybe bring your right foot in and bring your arms around your knee. Now can you keep your knee from falling out sideways? As you drop your shoulders down and you lift up the back of your head, can you roll the big toe side of that foot into the ground? Can you roll your long leg and your bent leg foot together? Drop your shoulders down. Can you get your inhalation down here now and your exhalation maybe up into the back of your neck? If you want to hold on to your right leg with your left hand and stretch yourself up, maybe this is all you get. This isn't what you're looking for. If you come forward, then you can bring your arm against your shin. You can bring your hands into prayer pose, tuck your chin. Don't forget to breathe. If you want to bind this, if you could come forward, keep your shoulder back. If you wanted to come around space. See about holding on to your fingers back there. Roll your long leg in. Roll your right big toe toward the ground. And then come back. You won't now, wherever this takes you. All right, so we're going to bring the left leg in. Bring your hands around, your arms around your left leg. And maybe this is what you got. This feels really good. I feel like I'm sitting up tall. My breath is easy. This is good. Stay. If you wanted to go further, you'd bring your right hand to your left shin. You'd come up through your left arm. Maybe this is all you got. Sit up tall. If you come forward, you want to bring your, you can get your arm to your shin. Bring your hands into prayer pose. Then you can use your arms backward to bring your collarbones forward. Tuck your chin. Rolling your long leg into your bent leg foot. You can find that bind if you want. You may not happen the first 100 times you try it. Or then come back up. Circles with your feet. Let's bend the legs just enough to bring the soles of the feet together. Again, talking about the sacrum. This space here, triangular shape bone. You'd like that to move. So it'd be rolling on your sits bones, S-I-T-Z. To come forward, it has to come from here. Tuck your chin. Come backward. Gonna poke backward through your arms, whether they're back here or whether they're up here. You still come backward through your arms to bring the collarbones, the breastbone forward. Otherwise, you're stuck. All right, then inhale, coming back up. We're going to do Paschimottanasana. So, whether you bend your knees, whether you start with your hands back here, again, you want the base of the spine to shift forward, not this. That's an exaggeration. That's not even an exaggeration. This has to happen. So maybe that's all you work on. Again, it's that cat-cow thing. When we sat like this, and we did this, we came here, then we came here, we came here, right there. Maybe you feel good from here. So when you start coming forward, it's not how far, it's not getting your nose to your knee. It's moving the base of your spine, it's keeping your chest open, it's keeping your breath. Roll from your little toes to your big toes. Maybe your hands are here. Everyone has to do it their own way. Can you get your inner thighs to roll toward the ground? From your big toe to your inner heel. Big pressed in with your hands and pressed out with your legs. Does that make a difference? Try different things. When you lift yourself back up, we're going to lie back, stretching your spine. Can you get the inhalation into your belly? The exhalation comes back up toward the back of your neck. And release some tension there. I'm going to have you bring your right ankle to your left thigh, not across thigh to thigh, but ankle to the thigh, flex your ankle. Stretch your arms out, use your fingers, stretch your fingers, use your hands. All of your fingernails go toward the front. Now if you pull the energy of your arms in, it's going to strengthen your back. If you pull the front hip bones in, it's going to strengthen the abs. And when you slowly start bringing your legs out towards your right side, look what happens in your lower back. You're using your right leg to bring the left leg across. Can you turn your right hip bone in? Draw your navel back. Don't forget to breathe. Sunshine. Now you come back up, putting your right foot down. Fix your back. We'll bring the left ankle to the right thigh, flex your ankle. Now again, pull your arms in, stretch your fingers out, but pull the tops of your arms into your armpits. Front hip bones, when you press your left ankle onto your right thigh, you start bringing your legs out toward the left side. Turn your face to the right, keep your chin low. You're using your left ankle, your left leg, to bring your right leg across to open up your lower back, to change your right hip. Hold your shoulders down. On your inhale, you come back up, fix your back, and get comfortable for doing Shavasana. Chin lower than your forehead, relax your forehead. Relax your jaw, your tongue. The opening of your ear is a circle. If you follow that down, if there's upward pressure into your ear passage, can you undo that? Would be the root of your tongue. Shoulders, palms, thumbs are turned out. Big toes are wider than your heels. Front hip bones go wide. Now, if you have something that works for you to keep your mind on what you're doing, then do that by all means. You could feel for your heartbeat in your chest, or maybe at each side of your throat, or at the front of your armpits, or the crease of your elbows, or the thumb side of your wrists, perhaps. Each side of the groin, you've got a femoral artery each side there that takes blood to your legs. Perhaps you feel your pulse there, or the backs of your knees, or your ankles. Someplace. And you could count how many times you feel your pulse when you inhale. How many times you feel your pulse when you exhale. It might be different. Each breath might be different. Maybe there's a pause between. Two things that your body's intelligence does for you. You don't have to think about your heartbeat. You don't have to think about your breath unless you've got trouble. So you're connecting with your body's innate intelligence, which is important. Feeling your heartbeat and your breath. And at the end of your next exhalation, stop counting. But still feel both of those things, your pulse and your breath. Again, stay at it. On one of your exhalations, turn your eyes down. That'll help you feel your breath, your pulse. And again, stay as long as you like. When you're ready, it would be rolling onto your right side, taking your time. Happy Saturday. Namaste.